How powerful are the psychic abilities of the anti-fan? Also, what does professionalization will spell out for the gaming industry? I may or may not answer these and more questions while we peer into the crystal ball to answer what the hell is going on with the gaming industry. Hello guys, my name is Felipe Pereira Scipione. This is the FPS Factor. I have this wonderful mini crystal ball with me. Perspective is... So, I was seeing the news that the producer of former lead writer, actually, of Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and Inquisition, has made some comments on the state of the industry regarding its fans, or rather the anti-fans. Oh, they have the power. They have the psychic abilities to make a game fail. Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed, Star Wars Outlaws, and other, frankly, irrelevant games that come out are mediocre and do nothing to keep our attention. Of course, it is not the fault of the developers. Actually, it's not really fault of the developers. Mostly it's not the fault of the CEOs, the lead of the projects. You know, those who say, oh, you spent this amount of money on this game, it's obviously gonna do well. As the guy from EA said, we have the cave dwellers or something like that, the cave nerds. Whatever we put out, it's an RPG, they're gonna buy it, they're stupid. He didn't say they're stupid, but he meant it. Whatever you're going to buy, wherever you put out, they're going to buy. You don't need to cater to them. Why would you? Let's cater to the bigger audience, to the modern audience. It doesn't exist, actually. If you have been following any of the YouTube scene for video games in the last couple of years, I'd say, you've seen that people are trying to reach this mystical modern audience, but it doesn't actually exist. It's the progressive American, because there's also other places in the world besides the United States, but these guys don't seem to think so. Ubisoft, EA, Microsoft, they seem to think it's all just United States, it's all that matters. They seem to think, or rather they were convinced to think, that politics is what sells in a game. Gameplay, story, characters, they're all second to the politics. If you don't know what is actually politics in the games that you play, I have another video. It perhaps, I don't know if it's that side or that side, I'll try to put on a card. We're on 4 minutes. I'll try to put on a card for my other video on the subject. DI, politics, stuff like that. I'll go over each and every type of concept that are either misrepresented or just people don't know what they actually stand for. I talk there about what is political and what isn't. In video games and in media in general, we have anime, we have movies, we have series, books, etc. So these guys, especially when they contract the consultants, the also dreaded consultants, they go and say, we peered into our crystal ball when we say, give us money to my friends. They will write the best for you, for the modern audience. The modern audience is coming. They will consume all your products, all your slop. Everything that you do, do not pay heed to those other consumers that were already there. Abandon them. They will buy it anyway. Cater to us now. We'll buy everything. Of course, they don't. They don't buy games. They don't buy anime DVDs. They don't buy manga. This is all manga. Except for that shelf over there. And I have some other shelves. But this is all from here down. It's all manga. They don't buy figures of their favorite characters. I'll try to put one around here. Here. One of these fabulous characters, like this one from Concord. Who wants a figure from Concord's characters? It's or from the new Dragon Age game, that horned freak that seems to be just a normal person with horns instead of being the race that was before in the Inquisition and the other games. I haven't played them, but I know it's kind of through cultural osmosis. It's just that it's very disingenuous to blame fans for their supposed powers. They convince others, while fans, let's see, they turn from what you want. Fans who would go out and spread word of our game and get people interested. But if you get anti-fans, they sort of do the opposite. They are determined suddenly to see your game fail as sort of a lesson to others who would make the same type, games of the same type. Yeah, if you do make a game that I'm not interested in, I'm not gonna buy it. If you make a game in an established franchise, and that franchise is known for a type of gameplay, a type of story, etc., and you suddenly change everything because you want to chase another audience, you're obviously gonna speak up and tell other people who are fans of the previous games, this new game, is nothing like the other ones. It's economics. It's the free market. Don't these people love the free market? Actually, no. This type of person always says, "Oh, we love communism," except not really. We just want power for ourselves and no one else. This is the truth. They don't want for everyone to be equal. They want them on the top of the pyramid, the rest below, and they will say it is for everybody. Hypocrisy should be, as I think I said in one of my videos, hypocrisy should be actually one of the 7 deadly sins instead of laziness. What do lazy people didn't even do anything? Why are you blaming them for the problems of the world? This is for the consumer side of the game, of the change in gaming industry. People are just tired of buying bad games. On Steam, for example, as I said before, you have more than 100,000 games, more coming out every single day. You're not only competing with the games that are coming out, because the big publisher seems to think, oh, we launch our game in June, so we are competing with people who are also launching games in June. No, you're competing against every game that's been released ever that's on a store. That's why some publishers like to take away the older games so that you don't have the option to buy new games. It is very good that we have places like Steam who don't usually take off games from it. There are exceptions, of course. There are games that when the publisher itself wants to take a game off Steam, there's nothing Steam can do to stop it. Same with the Nintendo store, the Microsoft store, the Sony store. But for game preservation, it's very good that there are very old games on Steam, because a new game player is born every day. Remember, kids, as games journalists say, gamers are dead. So we're not gamers anymore. We are game players because we play the games, actually. Unlike the gaming journalists who know only to get money, get access, go on big vacations to Disney World, and write a good review for a subpar product, and say that Dragon Age, the Veilguard, is a 10 out of 10 game, when just looking at the gameplay you can see it's like a 5 at most. But okay. As I said, this is from the consumer side of the industry that's changing. Now we have the other side, the developers. There was this guy who were complaining about the deprofessionalization of the industry. He went to PAX, I think it was PAX, and he saw that most games being presented there are from indie studios or very small studios that are being published by publishers who specialize in smaller studios. Also, please do not call small games being published by a publisher indie. It's not indie. Indie, it's independent, meaning you do not have a publisher. I'll make a video talking all about labels. It's just like those guys who say, oh, a roguelike, when it's a game that's not like Rogue. There's a reason that Doom clones were changed to first-person shooters, because those games that were kind of like Doom, first-person, you shoot, but they had other aspects that were not only being like Doom. They made some innovations or just changes in general, had this name change. So let's change up the terms, people. Use roguelite instead of roguelike for permadeath, run-based game, or just run-based. It's a good term, I think. There may be many other terms that you could use. So back to the story. This guy said, "Oh, the deprofessionalization of the industry is very bad because games nowadays are being done by 1, 2, 3 people, and players are loving it. It's one of the only jobs that you can get rich alone." How is that a bad thing? I have no idea. This is the same kind of people who complain about class struggles. I also am a person who complains a little bit about class struggles. I believe in UBI. I believe in universal healthcare because I'm from Brazil. Actually, here we have universal healthcare, and we spend much less per capita than the United States. You guys spend way too much per person. The government spends more per person than Brazil. And you guys don't have universal healthcare. It's bizarre for me to grasp it. You could just have built a hospital, go there, get treated, not have to pay anything, and the government would have paid less than they do to big pharma, big companies. But that's actually talking about politics. I'm not here to talk about politics. We're on the video game side of things. I'm not a gaming journalist. So, these guys complain, "Oh, the class struggle, you cannot change your class." Then this guy comes and actually says how it is. If you're a game dev and you have a very good idea, your game hits off with a lot of people, the Balatro guys, the Schedule 1 guys, the my side, I don't know. Just to name a few very recent games, Binding of Isaac, Minecraft. Initially, it was just one dude, Notch. These are all a few of the examples of Hollow Knight, very beloved game, still waiting for Silksong. Also, if you haven't played Tori, the Tori games from the developer Siactro, I'll always plug it whenever possible. These are all fantastic games being developed by very small team. And a big team should be like 30, 40 people. You have just two recent examples. Powered, Expedition 33. They are both teams of 40 people or less. In the Super Nintendo era, in the 64, PlayStation 1 era, you had incredible games being made by small teams. You do not need larger teams. The larger a team is, the more middle management you need. That's the bane of everyone. Everyone that's creative, it kills creativity. It kills everything. Instead of having, he said, this guy complaining about the deprofessionalization said, "Oh, it's bad because you only have 1 or 2 writers." That's every book ever. Every good book is being written by one single person who knows everything there is to know about the writing, the world that they're creating, the story, the characters. A single person can write. This guy, I think he never had read a book in his life, perhaps. it is so very strange to me, the concept of, oh, you have to have a board of writers to write a good video game. Most games don't even have that much text on it. It is mind-boggling. You don't need big teams. It's best if we have smaller teams developing smaller games. Even there, he said about, oh, the AAA industry is suffering. Good. Let them suffer. Let them fall. They need this lesson. Go back. Let's go back to double A, to single A, to indie. Indie is what remains on the ashes of our triple apocalypse that's happening right now. It's not actually a crash. I'll make another video on it. But we really need one right now, I'd say. For the indies and the good developers to rise up from these triple ashes. A second pun in a way. I know Americans don't like puns that much, but for us who are not born talking English, pun is like the pinnacle of your English mastery. It is very nice. Anyway, I think this is it for today. Just a smaller video. Just commenting on a couple of topics. You know, power to the anti-fans. They are so powerful. They influence the other guys' minds to not buy the product. It couldn't be that the general public just don't like your game. Obviously, it's not my fault. It's the anti-fan. It's the anti-fan fault. Oh, it's the YouTuber's fault, of course. Yeah, it's not my fault. It's somebody else's. Huh. What you're talking about? I've never done anything wrong in my life. Anyway, let me take this up. It's as well. I love perspective, as I said before. Also, this is a Pokemon deck case. Oh, it's Mega Gengar. I love Ghosts Pokemon. I gotta show you guys later my Pokemon card collection. I'm doing a live Pokédex, perhaps in the next video, or in a intermission video. I could show you guys my Pokemon. Let me show you my Pokemons. Anyway, thank you guys so very much for watching. Thank you. Watch my other stuff. Like, subscribe, bell, all that good YouTube stuff. I need to grow the channel so I can do this full time, perhaps. I love doing YouTube. It is very nice. It's also very nice to look at it. It's so good. Anyway, do all that YouTube stuff, and in the meantime, I'll see you, or rather, you'll see me on the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.